Hey guys, welcome to Comfy Cozy Up. So it's that time to talk about these 6 final books for the Booker Prize. And this is not a review video. I just want to give my opinion of how I felt about the books, my favorite prediction, because the winner will be announced on the 3rd of November. Now, I was excited about this year because I wanted to do it again, because last year I loved most of the books. Like last year, I would think there were at least 4, maybe out of the 6 that I thought could have won because of how strong the stories were. And one of my favorite, hands down a 5-star, was, in that top 6. 2 of the books in that top 6 actually made it to my top 10 books of the year. So I was excited that, okay, this year is going to be that kind of outcome. And I have to be honest, no. There's just, I thought there were books on the long list that should have made it in the top 6. There was, it was just interesting. I'm not sure the direction and what exactly they were looking for when they selected these final 6. What I can say is the one thing that they all have in common, all 6 of them, death and grief. That is a common theme in them. And it you see it in the story. We, from the first one where we're talking The Passage North. I'm struggling with the author name, guys, so forgive me. This grief, a mother grieving the loss of her child and not being able to even bury her child, and also certain grief of the changes that's happening in an area that has experienced war. Then you have no one is talking about this. Sorry guys, I mean, I know, I'm sure there's a lot of you that enjoy this. This should not have been in the top 6. I thought this was a mistake. It's just my opinion. And I can't see how this can even possibly win with any of the other 5 books. I just can't see it. But this grief in this child. Bewilderment. Richard Powers. Now this one wasn't bad. I think this one was just too eerie for me. That I didn't enjoy it that much. There's a little reality of thinking of the what ifs and how you view certain things that I found very interesting. But grief, loss of a mother and a wife. So there you go. Absolutely love this one from the get-go. When I read this on a shortlist, I knew this had to make the top 6. There's no if and buts about it. This was well done. The Promise. There's a lot of death, a lot of grief throughout the entire book. The Fortune Man. This is the last book I read, and Nadifa Muhammad took an actual real story that happened in 1952 of a man wrongfully accused of a crime. And in this book, you are in the mind of that man, his last days before his execution. And you are in his mind to the point that it just feels so real and so raw. And how she's able to create that part, because she doesn't really know what happens, what that man was thinking, but you get the idea that it is in fact true and this happened. So for author to use this and write a fiction that felt so real, I enjoyed that part of the book. There are some parts of the story that wasn't for me. I had an issue with. When you see my wrap up, I will talk more about this. But for the most part, the writing in this was well done. She got me with that. And the storyline is very sad. But then the grief, death. There's a murder situation. So there you go. Then you have The Great Circle. life and death, whether it's real or not. If you read it, you know what I mean. And it does have loss in it because we are going in time, and years have passed by and people have love loss, tragedy, and survival, and how you look at life. Because I think the main character really showed us how to look at life. And especially when she says her what her greatest role was in life. There's that part. Did a review, an entire reading vlog on this. Definitely check it out. Absolutely love this. So these are the 3 favorites that I have. So that is The Promise, The Fortune Man, and Great Circle. If I had to be a judge, which is I wouldn't want to be a judge in this case, because then I'm like, man, if I had to judge these 3 books and pick a winner, this is a total package. This is a total package. I think this had everything. The writing style, the storyline, the way the author can have you think of things, and there is that historical moment. There is that mental thought process that is going on with one of the character, and how each section relates to certain things and how it went on. I thought this was like the total package from the get-go, and that's why I select that. Now, this book, these 2 books, I wouldn't be mad if any of them won. Like, if any of these won, I would still be okay with that. The reason why I think may not be a winner is because there's certain kind of contemporary writing style in this that I'm not sure the Booker people are looking for that. I find that sometimes they do not go for that. And I think because of the writing style in this, it might not be a favorite. But at the same time, is that fair to not support or make a book win because it has some contemporary style to it? Because contemporary writing style should still win awards that are considered top on the list. You know, it shouldn't be all that the writing needs to be all difficult and you know, that kind of deal. So I think that's the only reason why I'm not sure if they're going to go with this. And then this one there were moments in this that felt like fillers. That felt like an author trying to stretch a storyline a little bit more than they should. There were certain parts where I'm like, I don't care. I was reading like, why you know, and I get that whole idea of if you still find a life, your mind might wander off to the past, to things that happened way back. And that might be how the author was intended to do that. But there were some areas where I felt like y'all could have edited that out, that kind of deal. So this is why this for me wasn't like off the back of 5-star, because of that. And but it's still strong enough to win, and I do feel like I wouldn't be upset if it won. I just think it's not a perfect book. For sure, it's not a 5-star for me at all. I think it's a 4, a strong 4, but it's not a 5-star. So that's where I am at with this. But yeah, this one, I think it was just really well done and creative, and I love the stories and how it all just kept going, and there's something new, but you get the theme after the second section, because it's in 4 sections of what's happening in this. But I thought it just grabbed me from the get-go. Like, this one out of the box got me, and I was like, yeah, this is screaming Booker. So yeah, so there we have it. These are the books, and these were my favorite. And The Passage North was This one wasn't terrible at all. I thought the writing style was very creative. I think this is one of the creative one in the list, on the list, period, as far as telling a story. It did take me a while to get into it, but once I was able to get the connection and understand the story, I thought it was well done. You know, it was amazing how creative this writer was. But it's just the fact that I had to really push to get into it. Yeah, I think because I know how I am, if this wasn't the fact that if this wasn't a award list, I might not have finished it if this was just like a regular book, because of that the beginning of it took a while for me to connect. And that's where the you know, I have to be honest. But once you get past that first, you know, hurdle of in the book of connecting the story, it was just well done. So yeah, so this one wasn't bad, but the other, I still, no one is talking about this. I still don't understand which judge decided that this need. I mean, it can't be all of them. Decide that this was a good idea. I mean, it was just, this was just no for me. Completely a no. Sorry. No. So here we go. So we'll know in a few days which one won. It was one of those years, guys. But these are the ones I would tell you definitely read. If you haven't read any of them, these three. These, you don't need to read them if you don't care. But these are a must read for me. Definitely a yes. So we're going to end this video here, and I will definitely do my reaction video to see which one, you know, wins. But hey, that should tell you how I really feel. Alright guys, thanks for watching and have a good day. Bye.